It's the world's second biggest killer after AIDS, claiming 3,000 lives every day. The World Health Organization says road traffic accidents have become a global epidemic that must be addressed, and Asia is one of the black spots. As vehicle numbers have exploded in China, Thailand, and now Vietnam, so have the casualties. I traveled to Vietnam to see the impact on people's lives. There's no shortage of options when it comes to getting around in Vietnam. Boats can be the transport of choice, or getting on a bus. For the general public, they're affordable ways of commuting, especially if you aren't in a hurry. But these days, it's Vietnam that has been trying to make up for lost time. Its bid to switch to a free market economy has been gaining momentum, along with people's appetite for motorbikes.
Vietnam's have population about more than 80 million people, and about 60% of the population of Vietnam is young people under 30 years old. And at the moment, motorbike is I can say, is the only means of transport for people in Vietnam, especially for young people.
In Vietnam's two largest cities, Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh, motorized two-wheelers have become an integral part of the landscape.
Now, every year we had to import in the past, about 500,000 units per year. But in the last 2 years, we had to import about 1 to 2 million units of motorbike. And motorbike still is going, industry is still going.
It's drivers like Nguyen Van Ut who have to fight for more elbow room on the roads. The war veteran has been providing a taxi service for tourists for more than 20 years in Ho Chi Minh City. But he says competition is getting fierce.
Before, okay, I ride motorbike, very good money, right? Now Ho Chi Minh City have too many taxi, right? I ride motorbike, some money.
Ut is part of an alarming statistic, with Vietnam having one of the highest motorbike per capita levels in the world.
There are 12 million motorbikes in Vietnam right now, so that means there's one for every 7 people. It's not really high, but when you consider the number of motorbikes concentrated in the two main cities, it's very high.
Brand-name Japanese imports cost anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000. Locally or China-produced motorbikes cost several $100s, and second-hand vehicles are even cheaper. That means there's something for everyone.
It's small, convenient and mobile. Their prices vary. For labourers or workers who don't have much money, it's affordable. In general, cars are still too expensive when you consider the average living standard here.
Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City are Vietnam's biggest cities. The traffic problems are very serious. In Hanoi, there are 3 million people, while in Ho Chi Minh City, there are 5 million. We have a major challenge in trying to have a proper road system in place when we only have 6% of land area for each place to work with. That's the reason why we have such bad traffic congestion.
That's also the reason for worsening air quality.
It's pretty awful and wastes so much time. The fumes from the exhaust is awful too. Some people get sick from the smoke and smell of petrol. In hot weather, it's unbearable.
The Ministry of Transport says it will concentrate on developing and improving the country's public transport system. It plans to build new railway lines, bridges, and hopefully an underground train system for Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City.
In devising a strategy, we evaluate what's been happening elsewhere in Asia. We've already invited transport experts from France and Germany to help us plan for an underground and overland train network. We know that Thailand spent billions of dollars to improve their traffic congestion problem in Bangkok. We are learning from that example and from others.
In Hanoi and here in Ho Chi Minh City alone, there are more than 2.5 million motorcycles on the road. So it comes as no surprise for many that the number of traffic accidents has increased astronomically. In 2003, there were 21,000 traffic collisions, killing 13,000 Vietnamese.
Obviously, that when too many motorbike on the street is maybe when we accident. Sometimes accident and it's terrible. Sometimes on the rush hour.
16-year-old Lê Quan Tan is one of the casualties. The Ho Chi Minh City student was involved in a motorbike accident that left him partially paralyzed. He's about to undergo an operation that he hopes will help him get back on his feet.
Recently, we have witnessed a lot more accidents, and we believe the jump-in accidents correlated to the jump-in motorbikes in Vietnam. 70% of all traffic accidents involve motorbikes, and mostly in the cities. The cases aren't related really to speed, but to the sheer volume of bikes on the roads, and motorists not respecting or not knowing road safety rules.
Although it's not required by law, few drivers and passengers wear protective headgear, nor is there a limit as to how many people can be ferried on these two-wheelers.
The issue isn't motorbikes, but discipline. So many drivers don't follow traffic laws. It's common to see motorbike drivers going through red signal lights or turning into other people's lanes. Vietnam has fewer bikes than other places in Southeast Asia, like Indonesia, and yet these don't have road safety problems. It's all down to discipline and awareness.
The government will unlikely be able to educate the public overnight, but it's attempting to make the country's roads safer, especially in the big cities. In September 2003, Hanoi banned the registration of new motorbikes in the capital's 4 inner and busiest city districts. The government is also considering limiting 1 motorbike license per person. But all of this might be futile. Vietnam's economy is speeding ahead, no matter what the cost, allowing more Vietnamese a better standard of living and freedom of mobility never seen before.